on this week's Battle Report.
My name's Adam Lyons, and today I'm going to be piloting the Death Korps of Krieg. Honestly, I normally play these guys as Steel Legion because I think it's a little bit of a better faction to play. However, I figured today I'll try the actual Death Korps of Krieg. So first time, we'll see how it goes. We have one mission today, and our mission is to get hold of the Exterminatus device and blow up the entire planet to get rid of those filthy Xenos Necrons. The reality is that's just one of the secondary missions. There's a whole bunch of different things we have to do as well, but there are a lot of victory points for getting it, so I hope we knock it out.
Hi, I'm Farhad Irani, and I'm going to be using the Necrons today. My objective is to defend this planet because it's my home.
I've normally played these guys as Steel Legion, and you've never beaten them as Steel Legion, right?
No, I haven't.
No, but as the Death Korps of Krieg, they're going to be significantly weaker. A lot of the abilities they have, they do not have anymore. So I am a little bit concerned, but the good news is I'm playing against you, and so I'm not that worried about that.
Well, I see you brought out a bunch of heavy stuff. I know a few of these are shredders, but I have a bunch of little guys that hit really hard. And the great thing about Necrons is you can kill them, but they just get better. They'll get back up again.
All right, well, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah.
So for my army, here's what I've brought. I'm playing a patrol detachment, and that gives me 2 HQ slots. I've used one of them to take this tank commander with a Punisher cannon, and instead of giving him a Warlord trait, I've opted to give him tank aces, which enables him to add an armor penetration of 1 to this gun. So normally this gun has 20 shots at strength 5 with no armor penetration. Now it's going to be 20 shots at strength 5 with an armor penetration of -1, and this gun gets to fire twice if I don't move my full movement. So that's 40 shots right there. My second HQ choice is another tank commander. This one has a battle cannon, and I've spent a command point to give him Steel Commander, which essentially allows him to issue 2 commands. So this tank is going to be issuing commands to himself, this tank is going to be issuing commands to himself, and this other tank that's next to him. In addition, he has Kurov's Aquila, which means every time you spend a stratagem on a 5-up, I gain a command point. So I've got a little bit of a command point generator going on as well. And then we move on to the actual choices. So I've got an infantry squad that are sitting inside this Chimera, which is a dedicated troop transport. The Chimera itself has 2 heavy flamers, and the squad inside have a heavy weapons squad, one of which has a las cannon. Then I've got another Chimera here, but there's a squad of veterans inside here. These guys have a las cannon as well, but they've also got a bunch of plasma guns. So there's a lot of firepower coming out of this other Chimera, which also has 2 heavy flamers. And then my last 2 choices are heavy choices. I've got a squad, a heavy weapon squad up here, all with auto cannons. And so that's a pretty powerful squad, but they also have a lot of shots, which is good. And then, of course, I've got this other Lehman Russ battle tank. This one's not a tank commander, so it's a little bit less accurate. But thanks to the additional voice of command ability it's going to be getting from this guy, it will actually make up for that accuracy. And just like this tank over here, it does have 40 strength 5 shots. That's what I'm going to be playing with. The Death Korps of Krieg's special ability, like their regimental ability, is pretty decent. The first part that it has is they get no negatives to combat attrition tests. So morale is typically a weakness for the Astra Militarum. I've offset that by having very few infantry on the battlefield, and they take no negative penalties to their combat attrition tests. So even if I do fail, they're probably going to be okay. But the big one, you may have noticed that there are 5 vehicles sitting here, which is very, very vehicle heavy for an army.
Yeah.
That's because the Death Korps of Krieg's natural ability is when a vehicle is removed from the battlefield, roll a dice, and on a 4-up, it will get to fire again with its big main cannon. Yes, and so that's the thing I'm going to be hoping to spam as they die. They're going to fire again, and you're going to reward yourself every time you kill a vehicle with 20 shots to the face.
Oh, you came prepared. So my Necrons are running the patrol detachment, and I have 2 HQs. I have the Overlord, who's my Warlord, and I have a Royal Warden. The Overlord does have the Eternity Orb, so he gets that +1 on a 4-up. He will bring him back. And the Royal Warden has a Relic, so he's actually got the Veil of Darkness. And as you can see, I also have 2 Doomstalkers, so they're my heavies. There's also 2 squads of Warriors.
Today's mission, we're going to be playing Incisive Attack, which is an Eternal War mission. The mission rules are very specific. We have Sweep and Clear, which means once you control an objective, it is yours for the rest of the game, unless your opponent takes control of it off of you. which means you can move forwards after obtaining objectives. There's also going to be a primary objective of take and hold. You get 5 victory points if you control 1 objective marker. You'll get an additional 5 victory points if you control 2 objective markers. And if you control more objective markers than your opponent, you will get a third set of 5 victory points for a maximum total of 15 victory points per turn from the primary mission. For my secondary objectives, I took Surgical Assault, which will give me 5 victory points if I can control the objective marker in my opponent's deployment zone at the end of the turn, and that is the Exterminatus device. I also took the secondary objective, Thin Their Ranks, which I'm going to keep a tally of every model I killed and get 1 for each model destroyed. Every time I get 10 models destroyed, I will gain an extra victory point. And that's going to be great because even if those models come back to life, I can score them multiple times, which is really good against the Necrons. And then for my last secondary objective, I've taken Linebreaker, where I'll get 4 victory points at the end of a turn if I have 2 or more units from my army in my opponent's deployment zone.
Okay, so for my secondary objectives, I have First Strike. That means on the first round, I will score 5 victory points if any enemy units are killed. I will get an extra 3 if I kill more enemy units than my opponent kills of mine. I'm also going to take Attrition, and that is where I'll get 4 victory points anytime I kill more units than they kill of mine. My third secondary objective is Bring It Down. I'll score, depending on whether it's more than 11 wounds, I'll score 2 victory points anytime a vehicle or monster is destroyed, and it'll be 3 if it has more than 11 wounds.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's roll the dice for first turn. Whoever gets the highest gets the first turn, and I rolled a 2.
I rolled a 3.
You get first turn.
Wonderful.
This is your chance to win the Warhammer 40K Combat Patrol army of your choice. Enter our free giveaway for a chance to win a full army box set. Choose from Death Guard, Dark Angels, Orcs, Blood Angels, Space Wolves, Space Marines, Necrons, and more. Click the link in the description to enter this free giveaway.
Okay, so at the beginning of my turn, my entire army gets a 6-inch movement. So I'm going to adjust my entire army 6 inches in whichever way I choose, and then I'll begin my movement phase. Okay, so this is actually a pre-game 6-inch movement. Cool? Okay.
Everyone loves a pre-game 6 inches, right?
Yes. So that was in the end of my 6-inch movement. I moved the warriors forward. I moved the Doomstalker a little bit over to get some better aim. And now I'm going to actually begin my movement phase and continue my attack.
Awesome.
So these guys get an extra 6 inches because of the Warlord in my command phase. That's actually what I'm going to do now. Warlord's going to give them the extra inch to movement, and we will now move these guys forward. Now, I do get a 15-inch raise because of an upgrade on these warriors. So let's see if I can get them into range of a tank. That would be pretty cool. Okay. Okay, so I believe all but just the back 2 have range on it if you want to check.
Looks good to me.
Okay. In that case, I will also, at the conclusion of the movement phase, I will use Veil of Darkness to move these guys to another spot. Does that look good?
Mm-hmm. Don't bind it.
What was that?
Don't need to bind it. Because mine is.
It should be to the edge of the
yeah,
dice.
Good. Yeah, perfect. Nice.
That's funny. Okay. End of movement phase, we will now enter shooting phase. So at the start of the game, I spent 1 command point so that I would have 2 relics. So I gained a command point on this turn. I now have 6, and I'm going to spend 1 to use disintegrating capacitors to shoot that annoying tank of yours that has that rotator gun.
Got it.
Yeah.
What does disintegrating capacitors do?
Disintegrating capacitors basically makes all 6s automatic wound rolls.
Nice.
Okay, now these are Assault 2 guns, and there's 19 warriors in that unit. So we're going to roll on that. This is going to be 38 shots at ballistic skill 3, so we're going to hit on 3s, and this 6s, because of disintegrating capacitors, will auto wound.
Awesome.
Okay, here we go. One of them is on the floor. Okay, here we go. All right, 1, 6.
Awesome.
Now I'll take out the 2s.
There's another one or 2 there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
How many hits so far?
We have so far, we have 9 hits plus a wound. So
9 hits.
9 hits.
Cool. And then you've got 18 more dice to roll.
Mm-hmm. And we're rolling those now. All right, good, some 6s. Okay, so I have 24 hits. And 4 wounds so far, just from the 6s.
Awesome.
Okay. Okay, cool. So we'll roll. Now we got to roll for the wounds.
Toughness of 8.
What was that?
I'm a toughness of 8.
Yeah, so this is going to basically be 5s and higher will wound you. We'll got to do this in batches too, so I'll roll 4 more dice after these 20 since there's 24 wounds. Okay, 5s are higher. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're actually at, okay, so 5 more wounds, another 7, and I'll roll 4 more dice now just to see if there's any more. Oh, look at that, another 3 more wounds.
Nice.
Okay, so that means we have 2, 4, 6, 7, plus another 3, 10 added to that 4. So please make 14 saves at -2 for -2 AP.
Awesome, so you got 14 hits against me. Oh my god, that's a lot of saves. So the good news is, even though there are 14 wounds against him, I've got 12 wounds, so I've got a good chance of surviving this. He normally has a 3-up armor save. This piece of cover, because I'm touching it, is giving me +1 to my save, puts me up to a 2-up, but -2 brings me down to a 4 or higher.
Okay.
So every 4 or higher is a save. See how many we get. And that's pretty good. I've only got 4 fails here. So he goes down to 8 wounds, and he is still kicking.
8 wounds, okay. We'll see if my Doomstalker can do better. Not that I think anything will happen, but I will try my Royal Warden against the same unit first. The Royal Warden has a rapid fire 2 weapon, and its range is 30, so let's see if I get to use the rapid fire on him. It looks like I do. Yeah, so we're gonna roll 4 shots of it. It's a ballistic skill of 3. Okay. Wow, look at that, they all hit.
Nice.
Okay,
8.
now toughness 8, so this is gonna be another 5 or higher to wound, because his strength is 5. Only 1 wound. Same AP, so make 1 save at -2 AP.
So that'll be 1 more save at 4 or higher, on a 5 saved.
Okay. Well, that's it for that unit. Now let's try this Doomstalker, okay?
Awesome.
So first I gotta see how many shots. It's gonna do D6 shots, so let's see what we got.
Can you see it?
Let's make sure he can see it. Now, I believe if we're following this part right here, this metal.
As long as it can touch it. Just to touch both models. Okay, yeah, sure, you get it.
Cool. Okay, so it's going to be D6 shots to see how many shots we get, okay? That thing flew out. We'll only count the ones that go in there. Would have been a 5, though. That's pretty nice. 3. So it's going to shoot 3 times. Now, this guy only hits on a 4-up, unfortunately. Let's see if I can get lucky. That is just 1 hit. What is the toughness on that tank?
Tough 8.
That's right. Okay, so this is going to hit a wound on a 3 or higher.
Get it.
Okay.
Why?
Because it's a strength 10 weapon.
And if you roll a 2?
Then it wouldn't do anything. Well, that's a bummer. I think I'm going to move on to this unit right now.
Sure.
And see what it can do. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get into the range of the guy that I actually wanted to shoot, so everything's going to have to go into this guy.
Get it.
Okay, so these guys, because of Thy Will Be Done, they get a +1 to hitting.
Nice.
So they're going to hit on 2s.
Awesome.
That's really nice. That's a lot of 1s.
Awesome. I'm really happy about that.
I did turn over that dice, but it was from a 2 to a 3. So just want to point that out. But
how many hits so far?
so we had 15 hits so far.
Nice. And then go again?
Yep. And we're going to roll another 20 dice because there are 20 warriors.
I get 2 shots each.
Yeah, and they're assault too. That's usually the unit I do disintegrating capacitors with, but I really wanted to get the chain gun guy out of the way. I should learn the names. Okay. So
17
that's
extra
another
hits.
17 plus that 15 from before. And if I could do mass, I would say that 32. Yeah. Okay, cool. So
this is a toughness 7 vehicle, so you're going to be winning on 5s.
I'm going to be winning on 5s. You know, I'm rolling pretty high. Yeah.
The averages happen. See?
Well, that's 1, 2, 3. Let's just take all these. So that's 3, 5, 7, 8. 8 wounds.
Nice.
We'll roll those
17
again.
more dice.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. 5, 8, 9. So that's going to be
17 saves?
17 saves at -2 AP. Wow, that did better than the disintegrated capacitors.
It did. So I've got to make 17 saves, once again at 4 up, because he's touching these pieces of cover. So 17 saves of 4 or higher. Failed a few of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 7 fails. He has 10 wounds. So he's going to go down to 3 wounds.
3 wounds. Okay. Well, I'm going to try to go for that secondary objective, and I will shoot at that.
Okay. Good luck.
Probably should have saved this one for that, but anyways, here we go. First, let's see how many hits he's going to fire.
I want a 1 so bad.
It's a 4. Thanks.
Oh, 4 1s, so bad.
Oh, that's 3 hits.
Nice. Winning on 3s.
Okay.
3 1s, so bad.
It's wounding on 3s.
Strength 10 against toughness 7.
Please make 2 saves at -5.
No saves against -5.
Okay, so it does D6 damage at him.
So 2 1s.
A 5?
Oh, that's no good. Yep, that's it. So we'll see if this guy explodes. He does not explode. Now we're going to see if the people inside survive. There are 9 models inside. And on 1s, they die. So let's see.
Now I want 5. Now I want a bunch of 1s also.
No 1s. Everybody inside survives. Now I can deploy these models anywhere within 3 inches because they jump out, but you've already fired. So there is no reason not to jump out very, very aggressively.
Oh.
Oh, and on a 4 or higher, he's going to fire 1 time before he disappears. But unfortunately, I think I'm too far away to do anything because it's 12 inches. Oh no, I could. On
They
4
should.
or high, he'll get to fire one time. Nope.
Okay, so I will collect at least 4 victory points for this secondary objective, depending on, it could be more depending on what happens on your next turn. On this turn, and which I'll now turn to you.
So at the start of my command phase, I'm going to gain 1 command point. I'm going to go into my movement phase. And so the first thing I'm going to do is jump these guys out of this tank. So this veteran squad jumps out of the Chimera. It's glowing plasma right there. Chimera tank itself. Move up to there. And that's going to be it for my movement phase. So I've moved up my 2 tank commanders here, so that they can. Oh, sorry, my tank commander and my regular Lemur's battle tank up there. This tank commander, my warlord, has moved up here, and these guys have all moved up. Which brings me to my shooting phase. At my shooting phase, I'm going to start issuing some commands. This guy is going to issue himself a command that allows himself to reroll hit rolls of a 1. And this guy has the ability to issue 2 commands, and he's going to tell both of these tanks to reroll hit rolls of a 1.
Okay.
So that's what they're going to be doing.
So I can't just wish for ones to get out of this.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Well, second time round. So with that being said, we're going to start assigning some shots. So first of all, I'm going to fire this battle cannon, rapid fire battle cannon at the Doomstalker. It does fire twice. He's also got a heavy bolter, which I am going to unload into him as well. So we'll start with the battle cannon. It normally has D6 shots, but it's going to fire twice, so it'll be 2d6.
Okay, sounds good.
That's 8 shots.
Got it. Some heavy hitting.
8 shots hitting on 3s, you're rolling 1s. No 1s, but I'm looking at 6 hits. So of my 6 hits, I have a strength of 8. You have a toughness of 6, I believe.
Yes, I do.
So I'm going to be wounding on 3s.
Okay.
So 3s or higher. Not so good. I've only got 2 there. So you have 2 saves at -2.
Okay, he does have an invulnerable, so they will be 4-ups. He has a 4-up invulnerable. Oh, double 1s. He takes them both.
D3 damage each. I rolled a 3 and a 2, so 5 damage in total so far.
Okay, so that'll bring him down to a 6.
I've got the 3 heavy bolter shots. So these are also hitting on 3s and rolling 1s. That gives me 1 hit. It's a strength of 5, so it's going to be wounding on 5s. And that's a 1, so that's going to be a miss. So that concludes all the fighting from this tank.
Okay.
Next up, we're going to activate this infantry unit. The las cannon in the unit is also going to shoot the Doomstalker. These infantry people are going to fire their rifles into the Necron warriors. And at this range, they will be rapid fire, firing twice. We'll start with the las cannon. It hits on a 4. And it hits. It's a strength of 9, wounding on a 3. And it wounds. That's 1 save at -3.
1 save, -3. We're going to use the 4-up invuln. And it's a 6, so it's good.
Nice, good job. We'll move into the 8 infantrymen, who fire twice for a total of 16 shots. These guys hit on 4s. Remarkably accurate. Slide on into a hit. So we're looking at 10 hits. They have a strength of 3 against a toughness of 4, so I'm moving on 5s. 3. So there are 3 saves in total with no armor penetration.
Okay. 3 saves, no arm penetration. They have a 4-up save. One of them's a 4, the other 2 bounced out. They're all saved.
Nice, great job. Okay, so now we'll move on to this heavy weapons squad. I'm going to use concentrated fire, which is a stratagem that gives them +1 to hit and +1 to wound when they fire. So they have 6 shots, 2 shots each. They normally hit on 4s, they're going to hit on 3s.
Okay, sounds good.
So that's 3 hits in total. Their gun is a strength of 7.
Okay.
So it's a strength of 7 against a toughness of 7, but +1 to wound, so it's going to be wounding on 3s.
Wait, you said toughness 7?
Oh, you're toughness 6?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. So it's a strength of 7 against toughness 6, wounding on 3s, but +1 to wound, wounding on 2s.
Yes.
That is 3 wounds. So you have 3 saves at -1.
3 saves at -1. It's going to again be a 4. One of them went through. I rolled 2 4s and a 2.
2 damage.
Same one? 4.
How many lives does he have left?
He has 4 lives left.
We'll move on to the veteran squad. The last cannon from the veteran squad is going to shoot across at the Doomstalker. The other guys are going to shoot into the Necrons in rapid fire range.
Okay.
So we'll start with the veteran. He normally hits on a 3. He gets -1 to hit because he moved, so he's going to be hitting on 4s. And that's a 1. I'm going to spend a command point to reroll that one. Into a hit.
Oof.
Strength 9 against toughness 7. Wounds on a 3. That's a wound. 1 save at -3.
Okay. It's going to be a 4. 5, it's good.
Good save. Oh well. Now we've got these guys firing into the Necrons. I've got a bunch of plasma, but I'm not going to be overcharging them. There's really not much point. So that's 1, 2, 3 from the pistol, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 plasma shots. These guys are hitting on 3s.
Okay.
Because they're veterans. It's only 3 hits, but with a strength of 7, we're going to be wounding on 3s. 1 wound. 1 save at -3.
1 save at -3 against the Warriors. There are no saves against that.
So that's 1 dead so far. I've still got some las guns to fire. I've actually got 4 las guns, which are going to fire twice. So they'll be hitting on 3s. And with a strength of 3, they'll be wounding on 5s. No wounds whatsoever. So you will get to roll reanimation protocols for that guy.
So reanimation protocols is a 5 and up, and I get to reroll once. Ooh, 2. He is knocked out of the game.
Awesome. So at this point, I've got to start really thinking strategically what I want to do here. On one hand, I really want to start laying into these warriors, but on the other hand, I really want to take out this Doomstalker who's already injured. Because of living metal and the fact that he's going to be regenerating, he kind of has to be a frustrating priority. I normally hate firing strength 5 guns against something that's a toughness of 6. In general, that's just like a really annoying thing to have to do. But in a situation like this, there isn't too much of a choice, and either of the Doomstalkers could be really dangerous against my models. So unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to bite the bullet and force a situation where I shoot this Doomstalker with this guy.
All right, let's see what happens.
So we'll start with the heavy bolter, and I'm actually going to fire the heavy bolter crosswise into these guys. So I've got 3 shots with the heavy bolter, hitting on 4s, rolling 1s, 3 hits. Strength 5 against toughness 4, wounding on 3s. 2 wounds, 2 saves at -1.
Okay, 2 saves, -1. That's going to be a 5 for them. One save, 1 went through, so 1 model is dead.
Cool. Reanimate.
We are reanimating. Fails.
Awesome. So that's 2 dead.
2 dead.
Awesome. Keep track of my tally. I've killed 2 people so far. Okay, so now we're going to start firing the Punisher cannon.
Okay.
So these are hitting on 4s, and I'm rerolling 1s. 1s, 2s, and 3s all fail. This gives me 10 hits so far from the first round.
Yep.
And then we'll fire the second round.
Okay.
Once again, rerolling 1s. So this is significantly better. 14 extra, for a total of 24 hits. With a strength 5 against a toughness of 6, I'm wounding on 5s. So I've got 24 shots. We'll do the first 20. Wounding on fives.
Okay.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 so far. And then there'll be 4 extra. So 9 plus an additional 4. Which is 1 extra. So that's 10 saves.
Okay.
So you've got 10 saves to make a 4 or higher. He has 4 wounds remaining. He has a 4 up and vulnerable save.
I can do it.
It's possible. I just need 4 fails.
Let's see if I even need to do it. So we have, so far, we've had
4 fails.
4 fails.
That's it.
Oh, that's too bad. Okay, so let's see if he explodes. No.
Nice. That is exactly the kind of result that I wanted to see. Losing the Doomstalker in the first turn does a couple of things. It denies him the ability of killing more models than me. It also removes first strike. He killed 1 unit, but he didn't kill more units than me in the first turn. So I've denied him something like 7 victory points already, which is a great start to the game. And I still have my most powerful model left to fire, which of course now is very, very clear. We fire everything into this Necron squad right in front of him. So.
By the way, I just checked and explodes on a 5 or higher.
Oh,
and
okay,
I did
does
roll
it?
a 5, yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I gotta now see it does D3 mortal wounds to the thing within 6 inches, and that unit is within 6 inches of it.
Great.
So I will now check that.
1.
1, thank God. So one of these guys dies.
Excellent. And you can't reanimate from that.
No, I can't.
Excellent.
But there is a 3rd dead model and a 4th dead model.
But he had 10 wounds, correct?
What was that?
He had 10 wounds?
Yeah, he actually has 12.
He has 12. Great. So he's worth 10 points to me.
Okay.
So I've got a kill count of 3 plus 10. So I'm at 13 for my kill count
Very good.
of my secondary objective.
And that tank that I killed, how many wounds was that again?
10.
10. Okay, cool. So I got 3 points from killing that too.
Awesome.
Okay. Is it my turn?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, that's too bad. There's more coming.
So I'm now going to fire my most powerful vehicle into this squad of warriors.
Oof.
We'll start with the heavy bolt shots. There's 3 of them.
Okay.
And they're hitting on 3s and rerolling 1s because he's tank commander. That's 3 hits, strength 5 against toughness 4. Winning on 3s, 1 wound. 1 save at -1.
Okay. 1 save at -1. That's going to be a 5 or a higher. Dead.
So that's 1 guy out. If you want to pull him back, don't
Yep.
reanimate yet.
And now we'll fire the 40 Punisher shots with the tank ace's gun. There's an armor penetration of -1. Hitting on 3s, you're rolling 1s. So only 2s are missing now. So it's 15 hits initially. Oh no, 14 hits initially. So 14 hits initially from the first volley, and then we will roll an extra 20 hits. We're rolling once. For an extra 18.
Wow.
So we are at 32 hits so far. And with a strength of 5, we're winning on 3s. So this is the first 20. Winning on 3s. So we have 13 wounds so far.
Okay.
I'm going to roll the extra 12. Winning on 3s. So we're at 22 saves at -1 on the Necron Warriors.
Okay. That's going to be a 5 or higher. Not a good day to be those warriors. So far, I've saved 5. And can you see any other 5? No, that looks like 15 dead so far. Cool. And just to confirm, you said 24.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll roll 4 more dice.
3 more dead.
Yep.
So it's 18 dead.
18 dead.
There were 19 in the squad.
Yes.
Feels like squad's gone.
Indeed.
Excellent.
Nice work.
And Necrons don't get to reanimate if you wipe out the entire squad in a blow, which is why Punisher cannons love fighting Necrons. And this is probably why the Death Corps of Krieg brought out... it's probably why the Imperium brought out the Death Corps of Krieg to remove you guys from the planet.
It was a good choice by that general.
Excellent. So that's the end of the shooting phase, which brings us into the close combat phase, or the charge phase. And we're going to start by charging these veterans into that Royal Warden.
Of course, deny that victory point.
Okay. Roll 2 dice, and they rolled a 6, which is definitely enough to get into close combat. Which is where the Death Corps of Krieg like to be. Let's be real here. Next, I'm going to charge this tank into the Royal Warden. And it succeeds on a 12. Next up, I'm going to charge this tank into these Necron warriors.
Okay.
Succeeds on a 9. Next up, I'm going to charge this tank into these Necron warriors.
Okay.
Succeeds on a 9. Next up, I'm going to charge these infantrymen into these Necron warriors. Now, the reason I charged them last is because they're already in close combat. I've denied Overwatch. But that would be a 4. How bad do we want to spend this command point? Reality is really badly. So we spend a command point to reroll. Oh, actually, what do we need to roll? No, probably not that badly. No, it's okay. I'm not going to reroll. That brings us to the end of the charge phase, which moves us into the close combat phase. Okay. Now we're in close combat. We'll start doing some attacks. Chargers fight first. So we'll start with the veterans against the Royal Warden. Okay, so each of the veterans has 1 attack each, except for the sergeant, who has 2, and a chainsword, giving him an extra attack. So, and they all got the same attack profile except for the sergeant, so we'll use everyone else first. So there are 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 attacks from everybody who isn't a sergeant. They're hitting on 3s.
Okay.
And wounding on 5s. Strength 3 against toughness of 5.
Yeah.
Not too bad. That's 2 saves so far.
Okay. 2 saves. No AP. Nope. Yeah. So this is going to be a 3-up. Gotta stop doing that.
Yeah.
This one was a 6, so that saved, and then we'll roll the other one there. I rolled another 6.
Nice. 3 extracts from the chainsword on the sergeant, hitting on 3s. 2 hits, wounding on 5s. 2 wounds. 2 saves at -1 this time.
Okay, so this will go to a 4. 1 save. So 1 went through.
Nice. 1 wound.
1 wound.
Next up, we'll move on to the Lehman Russ Battle Tank. The Lehman Russ Battle Tank has 3 attacks, hitting on 6s.
Okay.
That's 1 hit, which is excellent. I kind of didn't expect it to hit, so I don't remember his strength. With a strength of 7. So 1 hit with a strength of 7, that's going to wound on 3. It's 1 wound. 1 save, no armor penetration.
Okay. Went through.
1 more wound. And next we have these 2 tanks. I'm going to roll them both together. Hitting on 6s. No hits.
Okay.
That's the end of my attacks. You get to retaliate.
So the Royal Warden has 3 attacks. It's going to fight this unit surrounding him. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be 3 attacks, weapon skill 3. Okay. Just 1 hit. What is their toughness?
The toughness of 3.
Toughness of 3. And let me check on his strength real quick.
He'll be winning on a 3.
Okay. Any wounds? Please make one save at no AP.
One save of 5 or 6. No.
Okay.
So this poor guy dies.
All right. Okay, I guess the Warriors will go next. It allows a 3-inch consolidation. Well, what we'll do is... So these guys would be shifting over 3 inches, so if you don't mind, I'll take the ones from here and just move them over. Okay, so we'll do about 3 inches of that.
And everyone touching my models cannot move 3 inches.
Everyone touching your models? Yeah, so it's... Oh, so they actually are right where they are then. Okay, so in that case, looks like we have 6 attacks.
Plus the ones behind gets a fight. Plus you can go 3 inches this way if you're trying to get more attacks in.
That would be great, yeah. 13. Okay, but they have to pick. Like one of them can go here, the other ones can go there. Okay, so 2, 4, 6 will attack this guy. Very unlikely to hit anything. So this is going to be on a 3-up for their weapon skill. Well, that's pretty good. 4 hits. They're going to wound though
6
on a 6 because it's 1 wound, no AP.
Nice. It's a 3 or higher save, which he saved.
Cool. Now we're going to have 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 more. Are going to now hit that other tank. And it looks like all but 1 hit.
So 6 hits?
Yeah. And
Winning on 6s.
Yep. Again, just 1 save. I mean, one save at no AP.
One save for 3 or higher?
Yeah.
Failed on a 2.
Wow.
Nice job.
Good job.
One guy like
Dented
pulled
your
off part
vehicle.
of a track, right?
Yeah.
That's excellent. So he's going to go down to 11.
Wonderful.
And that is the end of my turn.
Cool.
Which brings us to the morale phase. So they lost 1 guy, and they got a morale of 3, so they're absolutely fine.
Okay.
I don't think you can fail based on the models you lost.
No, I'm fine for morale.
And that's the end of turn 1.
Okay.
So, at the end of the first turn, I have 2 command points left. I currently have 0 victory points because I don't get to score any of mine until much later. You currently have how many command points?
Okay, so at the end of round 1, I have 5 command points remaining. Nice. I did score 5 victory points for killing that tank of yours. I get 5 for killing a unit.
That's for the first strike secondary objective.
Yes, that's for the first strike. I can only do that on the first one. I could have gotten an extra 3, but you killed my Doomstalker and actually one of my other units, which is a big bummer.
But you did spend a stratagem. And on a 5 or higher, I get a command point back.
Ooh.
I do not.
Okay.
And that brings us to the end of the first turn.
Oh, and I should also say I did get another 3 victory points for killing a vehicle.
Nice.
That's another one.
What's that from?
That is from one called Bring It Down.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. So I'm at 8 victory points and a first turn.
Perfect.
Cool. Round 2 starts. On this one, I gain a command point, bringing me to 6. I also I gain 10 victory points because I control 2 objectives.
Awesome.
Okay. So that brings me to a total victory points of 18. Now, in this round, I'm obligated to tell you that protocol kicks in called Conquering Tyrant. It allows this unit to fall back and shoot, but I do take a -1 penalty to hit.
Excellent.
So we are definitely going to do that. Shall we begin?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to fall back the maximum amount I can. Maybe not the maximum amount. Okay. Let's begin. Okay, so we're in shooting phase. I'm going to go ahead and these guys just keep them within 3 inches.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to go ahead and spend a command point to bring on disintegrating capacitors again.
Yep.
And I have 2, 4, 6. I believe I only lost 1. Can't remember. I think I just lost 1 unit, right? 1 guy.
I
Yep, okay, cool. So that's going to be a total of 38 shots. Disintegrating capacitors, 6s auto wound, 38 shots, hitting on a 3 or higher. Few 6, a couple 6s, 3 6s. Okay, and then the 1s and 2s come out. So we have total hits are 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 hits. Okay, the remaining 18. Another 9 hits added to the 13 brings it to 22.
Cool.
And we will add whatever wounds we get to the 3 6s I got. To
There's
the
one
3.
dice still.
Thank you. Oh, is that a 2? Mm-hmm. Okay, so subtract that, make it
21.
Yeah, 21 hits.
So 21 hits, so rolling to wound, and you're wounding on 5s.
Mm-hmm.
First 20.
Okay, we have 2, 4, 6, 7.
Plus 3, so you're at 10.
I'm at 10.
10, and then 1 reroll. It's not really a reroll, but it's the extra one. 10.
10. So go ahead and make 10 saves at minus 2 AP.
Ten saves, still in cover, plus 1 on that, so 10 saves, and the... Oh, did you give yourself -1 to hit for leaving close combat?
I did. I hit on 3s and higher. That's why that 2 I had to subtract 1.
So 10 saves at 4 or higher.
Okay.
So I've got 4 fails.
Okay, so that's 4
8.
damage.
Goes down to 8.
Okay, let's see what the Doomstalker can do. All right, so let's see how many shots I get. This guy gets D6 shots. 3 shots.
Excellent.
It's gonna hit on force. 2, just 1 hit.
Nice. No saves against that.
Okay, it's gonna do D6 damage. 4 damage.
Excellent, he's down to 4. If only had more shots.
I might as well do some melee with the Royal Warden.
Excellent.
And
your opponent fights first, though, in close combat. So
that is
I'll
true.
do some melee against the Royal Warden. We'll start with the regular guys, and the Sergeant will fight separately. You've got 8 attacks, they're hitting on 3s. Veterans have a weapon skill of 4, so they're hitting on 4s.
That's great.
So that's 2 hits. Wounding on 5s. 1 wound. 1 save at no armor penetration.
Okay, that's a 3 or higher. Good.
And then the Sergeant's going to attack. He's got 3 attacks, they hit on 4s, that's 2 hits. And he's wounding on 5s. 1 wound. 1 save at -1.
1 save at -1 brings it to a 4. Failed.
That's 1 wound.
It's 1 wound.
This guy's going to take a consolidation.
Yeah, he's down to 3 health. I did forget to mention, so he did have 3 health after the last game, but he did heal that, so apologies.
Excellent.
For forgetting to mention it. 3 attacks, same unit that just attacked him. He hits on 3s. They all hit, and then he's going to wound on 3s also. All wound. Please make 3 saves at no AP.
3 saves 5 or higher, no saves.
Okay, so he killed 3 guys.
2. Cool, so at the start of my turn, I gain 1 command point. That puts me up to 3 command points, and then I score 10 victory points. I get 5 for controlling this objective because I've got more models than you, and I get an extra 5 for controlling this objective back here. So that puts me up to 10 victory points so far.
Sounds good.
And then we'll move into the movement phase. So these guys, are they going to move? No, they're going to stay there. They don't move. Okay, this guy is going to move. My Chimera is going to go all the way up to here. There. Into your deployment zone. He's in your deployment zone there, right?
Yes.
Good. Then, so we're going to the shooting phase.
Mm-hmm.
How many wounds does this guy have left?
3.
He's got 3 wounds left right now. My sergeant here is going to overcharge his pistol and shoot you in the face with a plasma pistol.
Okay.
And that gives him 1 shot. Hit on a 3. 1's a bad news. Roll a 1. Spend a command point to reroll it. Until 1.
Isn't that just always the case?
He blew himself up. Well, there we go. That was, I should have changed the dice. Well, that's how that works.
Was that recording?
Yeah, that was totally recorded. So these guys are all going to give themselves real 1s to hit. That's how that's going to go with regards to that. We'll start with this guy is going to fire at the Doomstalker.
Of course.
He has 2d6 shots. That's 5 shots. Hitting on 3s, rolling 1s. That's 4 hits. Strength of 8, toughness of 6, rolling on 3s. No wounds.
Bad luck.
3 heavy bolt shots into the same. That's 3 hits. We're on 5s this time. No wounds. Okay. Not as good as we wanted it to be. We'll spend a command point for concentrated fire on these guys. They're going to fire into the Doomstalker. We checked earlier and they've got line of sight. That gives me 6 shots, hitting on 3s because they didn't move. Normally it'd be 4s. So that is 6 hits. Strength of 7 against toughness of 6 would be a 3 up. Plus 1 to wound is a 2 up.
Okay.
6 wounds. 6 saves at -1. But it doesn't matter because you have invulnerable save.
4 or higher. Looks like 2 went through.
2 damage each.
All right. Brings him to a total of 10 wounds remaining.
So we have to have this unit fire next. We'll have the las guns are going to fire into the Necron warriors as before.
Okay.
They're not in rapid fire range, believe it or not. So they're only going to have 8 shots, but the las cannon's going to hit the Doomstalker. So they hit on 4s. Gives me a solid 5 hits. Winning on 5s though, with a strength of 3 against toughness of 4. And that's 1 wound. 1 save, but no armor penetration.
Okay, 1 save. No armor penetration, that's going to be a 4, and it saves.
Nice. The las cannon into the Doomstalker hits on a 4, and it does not hit. We're going to fire all these shots into the Necron warriors.
Okay.
So that's 20 shots. We're hitting on 5s, we're re-rolling 1s.
Okay.
So we have 8 hits so far.
Okay.
Second round of fire. So 17 hits. Strength 5 against toughness of 4. We're wounding on 3s. That's 15 saves.
All right.
15 saves at no armor penetration.
Gonna be force. Not a bad roll. I actually have to take out the misses because it seems that. So it looks like we have 5.
5.
So
5?
5 hits, 5
So
dead.
so you get to do 5 reanimation protocols.
Okay, looks like only 2 reanimated, so 3 of them did die. Pretty good.
Next up, the Chimera is going to fire into the Necron warriors.
Okay.
So he's got 2d6 heavy flamer shots. That's 8 hits, and they automatically hit. You got some more dice back here.
Where?
7, 8.
Did I miss anything or?
Don't know.
Okay.
So I've got 8 automatic hits. Strength 5 against toughness 4, winning on 3s. That is 6. You have 6 saves at -1.
6 saves at -1. 5s. Okay, so 4 dead.
Excellent. Pull the 4 out.
Hold on.
Because I haven't finished firing. There's also a lasgun array.
Which guys are firing again?
Chimera behind him, the tank behind him.
Okay.
The lasgun array will be an extra 12 shots at this range.
So it's 12 shots. These will be hitting on 4s. And wounding on 5s.
Okay.
So I'm 7 hits, wounding on 5s. 3 more saves at no armor penetration.
Okay, that's going to be 4s. So 1 dead so far. Make it 1 total. Pulling unit. Do you have any more, or can I reanimate?
Nope, they get to reanimate.
Okay, so 5 reanimations. No go. Oh, reroll 1s. That's right. Warriors reroll 1s. So 2 rerolls. Both fail.
Excellent.
Good job.
Now I have a gamble. I'm back to this super tank here,
Yes.
and I can divide up my shots. But it's a risky maneuver. If I fire everything into the warden, he's dead. If I split my shots, I run the chance that the heavy bolter kills the warden, and the Punisher can fire the Necron warriors.
Mm-hmm.
If I fail to kill the warden with the heavy bolter, then the Punisher cannot fire, and it will skip its turn.
Mm.
So it's a very tough gamble. And it's almost 50-50. If I run the math quickly, I'm probably going to get 2 hits out of 3, and then 1 wound, which is 2 damage. So statistically, you survive this, which means math says I have to fire everything into the wall. So I fire.
Okay.
3 heavy bolter shots first. Because I'm in close combat, I'm going to get -1 to hit with the vehicle. So I'm going to roll to hit. I'm hitting on 4s, rolling 1s.
Okay.
That's 2 hits, exactly as predicted.
Nice.
Strength 5, toughness 5, wounding on 4s. No wounds. I'm very glad I did this. Okay, so now I'm going to fire the Punisher cannon. So we'll do the first round of 20 shots. I'm hoping I won't need to do both rounds.
Okay.
So hit on 4s, rolling 1s. $11.
11, okay.
So 11 hits so far. Strength 5, toughness 5, wounding on 4. Seven saves at -1 for the first volley.
Well, let's see what happens. He has a 3. This goes to a 4. 2 went through.
Okay, so we'll do the second round.
He's down to 1 health.
Hits on 4s, rolling 1s. Because I get -1 to hit for shooting into close combat. It's a much better round of shooting. Get 14 hits. Wounding on 4s.
I think we've established.
6 more saves at -1.
Six more saves, -1. Mm-hmm. 6 more forks. He's dead.
Excellent.
And he explodes now.
That's great.
Good job.
Thank you. A little bit consolidating there. And that is the end of my shooting phase,
Okay.
which brings us into charging.
Brings us into charging.
And we'll start with this unit. Charging. This unit charging the Necron warriors. Let's go.
I can't get out of that next turn.
I rolled a 10.
He makes it.
And we'll have this guy do the same thing. Succeeds on a 7. Then we'll have the Chimera do the same against that guy.
Okay. I can heroically intervene on this, right?
Yeah. 5 inches on the Chimera. Just so I can move that. There we go. And that's all my chargers. So we'll move into close combat. Chargers fight first. We'll start with the 2 Lehman Rosses. They're just going to hit the warriors. Hitting on, actually they've got less attacks. The damaged one's going to have much less attacks. You can have D3 attacks and 3 attacks. 3 anyway, so 6 attacks. 6 attacks hitting on 6s at the warriors, no hits. And then we'll have the Chimera attack. And the Chimera's got 3 attacks hitting on 6s, so 3 more attacks hitting on 6s. And 2 hits, holy crap! Strength 7 against toughness 6, wound on 3s. 2 wounds. Am I actually strength 7? Feels like I'm strength 7. No, strength 6, wound on 4s. 1 wound. 1 save on the Doomstalker.
1 save on the Doomstalker, no AP?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
6.
Nice, excellent. You get to fight back.
Okay, so I'll use the Overlord to fight back first. He has 4 attacks with the War Scythe. That's +2 to strength, -4 AP.
Cool. Minuses to hit?
No, that's the Void Scythe. So we'll do 4 attacks. This is a 2 up.
Excellent.
Okay, so we have 3 hits, 1 miss.
Toughness 8.
Toughness 8. This guy is a +2, so it's a 7 strength, so it's going to be 5s. Okay. Two hits.
Nice.
2 wounds, I mean. Armor penetration is -3.
Cool. 2 saves of 6. Both fail.
Okay, that's...
2 damage each.
I'm going to confirm, I believe it's...
It's kills him anyway. See if he explodes. He does not explode.
And it is 2 damage.
Cool. Excellent job.
Thank you. That's going to add some victory points to me.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have 8 warriors attacking you.
Cool. Go for it.
They hit on 3s. Looks like we only got 4 hits.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to wound on 6s.
Go for it.
1 wound.
On save of 3 or higher. Saved.
Okay. That is the end of my fight back.
Excellent. And that brings us to the end of turn 2. I've got a morale check to make for these guys. 4 guys died. 5 add 4 is a 9. That's an absolute fail. So we're going to have 1 extra guy will run away. And then we're going to see if the others run. On 1s, they run. Nobody else runs. Cool. That's the end of the turn.
Cool.
I forgot the Death Corps of Krieg get to fire 1 time as they die. We've got that Limeros battle tank that was there. Mm-hmm. On a 4, 5, or 6, it will get to shoot. On a 5, it is absolutely going to get to fire. It's got 20 shots.
Oh
with
boy.
The Punisher cannon. Unfortunately, it's crazy inaccurate right now because it only has 1 wound, so it's really only hitting on 6s, which is what I think is the weakness of the Death Corps of Krieg, to be completely honest. It's like an ability that only triggers half the time at the weakest ability. It's like very, very weak. But I think with 20 shots, the right thing to do...
11 warriors.
Yeah, is to...
Just assuming.
Is to shoot the Overlord. So 6s. 1, 2, 3 6s, unfortunately.
That is absolutely the right move. You're trying to prevent the Resurrection Orb.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 4 6s. There was 1 extra. 4 6s. So 4 hits. Strength 5, toughness 5.
Toughness 5.
One of 4. 3 wounds. 3 saves, no armor penetration.
Okay. That's going to be a 3 up. 1 went through.
Awesome. So 1 wound.
1 wound. Okay. That's great news for me.
Now it's your third turn.
At the end of turn 2, I have 5 command points, and I have 20 victory points.
At the end of turn 2, I have just 10 victory points and 1 command point.
So at the start of this turn, I gained a command point going from 5 to 6. We healed, so this guy got his wound back that he lost. This guy went from 10 wounds up to 11 wounds. This is a bummer. There's not a lot I can do because I can't move out of there and shoot anymore. So we are going to use a resurrection orb, though. That's going to be at the end of that's the reinforcement phase, so it'll be after command. So obviously that will be done. We'll go ahead and use it now. Cool. This Orb of Eternity adds a +1 to it. Okay, so not a good roll, actually. So I got 2 to reanimate. Do get to reroll 1/1, and one of the dice fell out. So I got 3 back.
Nice.
I'm not going to take them out of close combat because then just more people can try to kill them. So I guess I'll move everything into close combat a little more over here. But we'll go into our... I believe the shooting would happen here first, or does this have to consolidate? Okay, shooting first, because he can shoot in close combat. Okay, so the first thing we will do, this guy's going to fire into here, D6 shots, 3 shots.
Excellent. And hitting on 5s.
Hitting on 5s because they're in
Minus
combat.
1 to hit close combat.
1 hit.
Excellent.
Can you save now we got to roll the wound. The toughness, that's going to wound on 3s. Wounds, can you make a minus 5 save? Nope. 6 damage.
Excellent. 4 wounds.
Okay.
In close combat? Cool, I fight first. So I've got D3 attacks with this guy. I've got 3 attacks here. I'll fight with this guy first.
I do want to move this guy who's better at close combat than all of these guys into the action.
Yeah, that's fine, I'll let you do it.
Thank you so much.
No problems. You have to... it's a charge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've shot, that's your charge phase. 2 dice, roll to charge.
Makes
9
it.
inch movement. Yeah.
So I can just...
Within 1 inch.
Can I put him over here?
Sure.
Excellent. Thank you. Cool. Appreciate you letting me
Charges
do that.
first.
Charges first. So he's going to be 4 hits with his Void Scythe at 2 up hits. They all hit.
Excellent.
And so he is a 7 strength with that. And
Tough 8.
Tough 8, so we're going to go to 5s. 2 wounds at -3.
2 saves of 6. No saves.
Okay, that's 2 damage each, 4 damage total.
Puts him to 7.
Okay.
After charges, your opponent fights first, so that'll be me. So I will start with the Chimera, D3 attacks. It's 5 attacks. So it's a 5, so it's 3 attacks. Hitting on 6s, 1 hit. Strength 6, tough 6, so
Yep.
wounds on a 4+.
Yep.
No wounds.
Okay.
Okay, your turn to fight with something?
So now he can do 3 attacks. And his weapon skill is going to be 4. 2 hits.
Excellent.
Strength, tough 7, so 5s. 1 hit, no AP. I mean, one wound, no AP.
3 or higher. Failed.
Okay, you
Thanks
take
for the wound.
1 damage.
It's the 3.
Yep.
And the warriors get to attack?
Yep, the warriors. Okay, that's going to be 8. 3s. Looks like 5 hits.
Okay.
6s. No, 5.
6 to wound.
6s to wound.
8.
2 6s. Please make 2 saves at no AP.
2 saves of 3 or higher. Come on! It's 1 save and 1 fail. It's
1 damage.
kind of an important one. The question is, do I want to spend a command point? I do. Failed! Oh, that's bad. That's bad as it gets. Okay, he goes down to 6. It changes his tier, so it was one of those that would have been worth keeping it. Oh well.
Wow.
Cool.
Okay. Believe that's it for me this turn. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it back over to you.
Awesome. Okay. Command phase. Again, 1 command point. And victory points. I control 2 objectives, which is more than you. So that gives me 15 victory points at the start of this turn. So that puts me up to 25. So at the end, so at the beginning of my 3rd turn, I have 25 victory points and 1 command point. And you have?
Yeah, and I'm gonna say I have 20.
You have 20 victory points and 6 command points.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Move into my movement phase. So move this guy up. Let's see here. These guys up. Okay. And then we'll start with shooting. We'll shoot these guys first. Hey, a command point to give them +1 to hit, +1 to wound. So we're hitting on 3s. That's 4 hits with a strength of 7 against toughness 6. Wounding on 3s, +1 to wound. He's wounding on 2s, which is 3. 3 saves at -1.
Against this guy, just to confirm. Thank you. 2 went through.
2 damage each.
Okay. So that takes it down. Seven health.
Firing this squad at that same guy. We've got the las guns. That's 8 shots. They're hitting on 4s. That's 2 hits. And they're wounding on 6s. Which is strength 3 and toughness 6. That's nothing. We've got the las cannon hits on 5, which it doesn't hit. We've got these guys are going to fire across. We are going to overcharge the plasma guns this time.
Okay.
So we've got 2 plasma guns hitting on 3s. 1's bad news. Oh, that's a 3 and a 1. And I can't reroll that. So the one that hit is strength 8, wounds on a 3. That's a wound. 1 save at -3. The other one dies.
4. 5. It's good.
Nice. The las cannon fires. It hits on a 3. Fails. That's bad news. That's everything there that's fired, which brings us to this guy. And it's got how many wounds? 7?
This thing
Yeah.
left. It has 7.
Yeah, cool. So then we unload everything from him into that guy. So we start with the heavy bolter. It's 3 shots hitting on 3s, rolling 1s. It's 2 hits and a 1. It's 2 hits. Strength 5, toughness to 6, wounding on 5s. No wounds. And then we get into the 40 shots.
Okay.
Here we go. Hitting on 3s, rolling 1s. Really a all or nothing play right now. So we're at 17 hits for the first volley.
Okay.
We're wounding on 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 saves so far.
Okay.
And the second volley hits on 3s, rolling 1s. Got 16 hits. We're wounding on 5s again. So 8 so far. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
All right.
15 saves at -1.
Force. 1, 2,
No.
3, 4, 5 hits. Can't say I'm just lucky with my Necron dice.
2 wounds. Arg. That's okay. It's not over.
It's not just my Necron dice.
No. It's not over. Okie dokie. Which brings us to this guy, firing everything into the Overlord in front of him.
He can fire in close combat?
Same as every other vehicle.
Yeah, okay.
So he's got 3 shots. He's deteriorated, so he's hitting on 4s, and he gets -1 to hit, so he's hitting on 5s, rolling 1s. That's 2 hits. Strength 5, tough 5, winning on 4s, it's the heavy bolter. It's 1 wound, 1 save at -1.
4 up. Saved.
Nice. And then we've got the battle cannon, firing twice, 10 shots. 10 shots hit on 5s, and rerolling 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 hits.
Mm-hmm.
Strength 8, winning on 3s against toughness of 5. That's really bad. We only got 2. 2 saves at -2.
2 saves at -2. 1 went through.
D3 damage. 1 damage. Oh my gosh.
He's down to 1.
Yeah, the luck is falling apart right now, which is totally fine. Which brings me to the best option I have right now, which is a 9-inch charge. Is it 9 or is it 8? No, it's a 9-inch charge. I need a 9-inch charge with no rerolls whatsoever.
Good luck.
I had a lot of bad luck. I need this. No, that's a 6. And I don't think I've got any other eligible charges. So he's down to, how many wounds that thing got left?
1.
Great. And I don't think I've got another way to do any damage whatsoever. Nope, that's everything. Which brings me to the end of my 3rd turn. So
Okay.
at the end of my 3rd turn, which is the end of the 3rd turn for both of us,
Yes.
we're looking at, I am at 25 victory points, you're at 20.
Mm-hmm.
And my kill count is still 24 because I didn't kill anything this time.
Yes.
Did you kill anything this time?
No, that would have actually been beneficial to me, but
that's a
no,
shame.
I didn't.
Cool. All right, that's the end of the 3rd turn, moving to turn 4.
Started turn 4. I had 6 command points coming into it, so I'm going to get an extra one, bringing it to 7. I had 25 victory points, and I'm going to get an additional 5. We're now going to start this guy. I'm just going to go for some points here and shoot at that guy.
Cool.
It's probably the most logical option. Let's see how many shots he gets. D6. 6 shots.
Nice.
That is good news. Hitting on 4s. We had 2 hits.
Cool. Toughness 7.
Wounding on 3s. 1 wound.
No saves. Dead.
4. Dead.
He explodes. I really, really want this.
I bet you do.
Yes!
Oh!
Yes! You got 1 wound left!
Actually, he did gain 1 health.
Okay, awesome.
I forgot to mention that. But let's see how much...
So it's gonna be D3 mortal wounds.
Oh, I would have spent a command point to make him explode if he...
2 wounds.
Oh.
Boom! There it is!
No, it
See
doesn't...
ya! Wouldn't want to be ya.
Good job.
Thanks. Oh, it's great.
Oh, man. Nice work.
Thank you. I needed that guy gone.
Yeah, I'll
Great.
give you this dice back.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, I kind of wish they ran backwards, but they didn't. So the rest of the guys will...
Fight in close combat. Or shoot. They can't shoot. Fight
They
in close
can't
combat.
shoot, yeah.
Oh,
So
that's great.
we'll use the Overlord first. He's going to hit on 2s. Ooh, I'm going to command point reroll 1 of those.
Cool. On a 5 up, I'm going to get a command point. I gain a command point. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, 3 hits. And it wounds on a 5 or higher, so just 1 wound.
Cool. One
Mine-
save of a 6.
-3.
Failed.
Okay, Please
2
take
wounds.
2 damage.
Down to 4.
It's down to 4. Okay, so now you're going to have 8 warriors hitting on a 3-up. Wow, look at that. All but 1 hit, but they're going to wound on 5s. Just 1 wound, no AP.
One save of 3 or higher. Failed. It's like one guy that knows how to pull a tank apart. Like, read the field manual.
He was a mechanic before they transferred him into that body.
Exactly. Okay. And your turn?
That's the end of my
I
turn.
get to fight back.
Oh yeah, you do.
So he's just 1 attack. He's not hit. Cool.
Cool.
So
Okay, so
start of my 4th turn.
sure.
Did you score anything?
Yeah, I do collect. It's going to be 2. Let's see. Well, actually, we don't know. Oh no, yeah, I am going to collect 2 just because that was a vehicle.
Yep.
So I will collect 2 victory points.
At the start of my 4th turn, I'm going to gain 1 command point, putting me from 1 up to 2, and then I'm going to score victory points for controlling 1, 2 objectives, which is also more than you, which puts me up to 15.
Okay.
Sorry, not up to 15. Gives me 15 extra, which puts me from 25 up to 40.
Ooh.
To my movement phase. I'll take this guy to here. I'm going to advance this unit 6 inches. 12. Not there. I think that's it for movement. For shooting, all your stuff's in close combat, so I'm going to shoot everything at the Overlord. I've got my big tank here. He's got 3 shots with his heavy bolter, and he's hitting on. He's got -1 to hit in close combat. Currently hitting on 5s. -1 to hit, he's hitting on 6s. But he does reroll 1s. 2 6s! Hello!
Oh wow.
Strength 5, toughness 5. That's 1 wound, 1 save at -1.
Okay.
2 damage.
Takes it.
And then 2d6 shots. The big gun, which is 4 shots, not so good. I'll spend a command point to roll that. So I only get to roll 1 of those because it fires twice, so it's 3 plus 3 for 6 shots. 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm hitting on 6s. It's 1 extra hit. It's a strength of 8. So I am wounding on a 3, which is a wound. 1 save at -2 on the Overlord.
Save 4 up and vulnerable.
Excellent. Nothing else I can do.
Cool. He is down to 3 wounds.
That is the end of my shooting phase. I literally have nothing else to shoot. So I'm going to fight in close combat. You fight first, though.
Okay. 4 attacks from the Overlord. Wait. Yeah. Okay, so all of them hit.
Excellent. Winning on 5s.
Winning on 5s. 2 wounds, -3.
2 saves, 6s. No saves.
That's
kills
4.
the tank. See if it blows up. It does blow up.
Okay.
Which is 1 mortal wound on the Overlord. 1 mortal wound on the Warriors.
Okay, so 1 warrior dies.
And it gives you 3 victory points for this one.
Okay, thank you. Well, that's all I can do in my fight back. So that's the end of round 4.
That is the end of round 4. So at the end of the 4th round, I have 1 command point left, and I have 40, but I score 5 extra victory points for scoring that marker at the end of your turn, because I got the Exterminatus device. So that gives me 5 extra victory points, putting me to 45.
Oh, you get it for when you get it at the end of the turn?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that. So you get 5.
I have 5 extra, so I'm at 45.
Okay, so at the end of turn 4, I have 35 victory points, and Adam has 45 victory points. I will gain 5 more victory points in turn 5, and then the most I can gain is another, 3 from killing this tank. At that point, it really doesn't matter because in his turn, he's going to score those extra 15 victory points. So, I gotta say, good game.
Good game, dude. All in all, I actually think the Death Corps of Krieg did pretty good against Farhad and the Necrons. I'm gonna be honest, I still think Steel Legion would have just done it better, but still, it was funny to watch him sweat every time I may have fired and then didn't and nothing happened. Ultimately, I think I played really well. The biggest mistake I made was leaving close combat against the Doomstalker. I know to always play it safe, I always play by the numbers, and I knew that leaving close combat may have let me kill it, but staying in close combat would definitely have denied him firing. I just got greedy and really wanted that objective at the back, because I want the Exterminatus device, I want to blow up the planet, and I really should have just played for points and not really worried about the story, but I can't help it, I like the fluff. Yeah, all in all, I think I played pretty well, except for that one big mistake.
So that was a really fun game. I had a really great time. Adam is a very experienced player, and so for me, this was just fun. I did better than I thought I would against him, and I had a load of fun, learned a lot of new things. One of the things I wish I had done is used command point with my Doomstalker, would have allowed him to fire at the guy that killed the Royal Warden. It's a really cool technique that you can do when somebody kills one of your characters. But overall, I had a lot of fun, learned a lot, and I can't wait to play him again next time.